Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator working in the UK, and I'm bringing you another project today that you can make all with Stampin' Up! Products, which are all available from my shop. If you click down below the video in the description, there'll be a link to my online shop. And today's card is this one. If I turn it that way, you should be able to see. It's called an easel card, but it's only a partial easel card because these two panels are flat. So quite often when you do an easel card, you have the whole panel folded over. But this one's got two flat panels down the sides, which makes it quite cute, I think. I've gone back to using Butterfly Gala stamp set and the Butterfly Duet Punch for this. I've used a sentiment from the Little Treats set, which is in the new mini catalogue, the Christmas mini catalogue, and I've used that Birthday Wishes for You, and to lay the label on, I've already die cut. We're going to do it in orange today, as you can see, a little label from here, which is this label from the Little Treats dies. The Little Treats dies are great, actually. They make that a lovely little treat box with no measuring, no scoring, no anything. So it's a really, really lovely set. Right, okay, so let's get started. So what do we need? So yes, I did this one in Highland Heather and Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana. And today we're going to work in Melon Mango and Mango Melody and Pumpkin Pie, mostly with a little bit of Daffodil Yellow, so in yellows really today. So we need to start off with a piece of cardstock that measures 15 by 21. I'm going to 15 today. I know sometimes I cut this down to 14 and a half. It just makes it easier in terms of measuring today. I just need to find my trimmer, which is buried behind here. Oh, crash. There we go. And we're going to score, oh, if I can get it out, at 10 and a half. So that will make my card blank fold into two, keeping it quite straight, I hope. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut. So I'm just going to burnish that with my bone folder. And then we're going to cut. And this is where this trimmer comes into its own. So with a guillotine trimmer or other kinds of trimmers, you wouldn't be able to do this, but with the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, you can. So I'm going to put this in and I'm going to put it at 4 centimetres. And I'm going to come in with the blade and we are going to cut from the where I've just scored. So where I've just scored, just going to move that again, it's just jumped about. So I want my blade to go down on that crease. So the line of the blade needs to line up with the line of that crease, and then you can just cut straight down. Brilliant. And then you're going to turn it over and you're going to do exactly the same on the other side so that we'll have two sides the same. So I'll take the blade up first and cut. Brilliant. So that's the basis of our card. So I'm just going to burnish those cuts so that we don't get that little lip on them like you might do with the trimmer. And this is Pumpkin Pie card I'm using today. My previous one I used Gorgeous Grape, and then the Designer Series paper was Highland Heather. Today I'm using Mango Melody. Okay, so it's just a bit of a contrast, and because these panels are both 4 centimetres, or what we can do first, we're going to glue those down. Okay, so those two are not going to lift up, these panels, so we're just going to put a little bit of Tombow on here and glue those panels down. There we go, like so, and on the other side. And then you just end up with your one free panel in the middle. It gives it a nice sturdy base having these two panels, actually. There we go. There we are. Right, okay. Now, oh gosh, I need to undo that. Oh, can I undo it quickly? Forgot to stick my white panel. Don't do that. So where have I got my white panel? Is it here? No, I had a piece of card that I'd already cut. There we go, there's my piece of card. Right, okay, I need to glue my piece of card inside my card because I want it white inside. So this is, this panel measures 9 centimetres. So, no it doesn't, 4 and 4. Take away 57, 7 centimetres. Yes, let's get my maths right here. 7 centimetres. So this just needs to be a little bit bigger than that. And I'm going to leave it quite big because I'm going to trim that off at the end because I want it to be quite nice and snug, nice and neat edge against there. So a little bit of Tombow again. I think it's drying up, this Tombow actually. Might have to get a new one out. Oh, good job I remembered that. Just in time. That's the good thing about with wet glue, you do get a bit of time. Now I'm going to put a bit more glue on it. So I've stuck that on. I'm going to put a bit more glue because this might have dried up and I want it to stick properly. So yes, don't forget to put your white panel in first. I've had that sort of day today really, where I'm sort of doing things in the wrong order and things aren't quite going to plan. In fact, this is the weekend I'm taping this and it's been like that all a bit weekend. Don't know what's wrong with me really. Whether it's the weather's a bit off at the minute. We've had some really hot weather and then really loads of thunderstorms and rain, and now it's just a bit grey and cloudy and occasional a bit of rain and a bit windy. So it's not very inspiring. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim that white panel as near as I can to the card base without cutting into the card base, like so. There we go. That's our white middle now. There we go. Right, okay, now on these 3 panels we need to stick pieces of designer series paper. So these 2, which are 4, need to be 3.5 wide, and this one, which is 7, needs to be 6.5 wide. So we need a 3.5, a 3.5, and a 6.5. So 3.5. Using my little trimmer here, which is really handy. As a demo, if you became a demo, if you joined Stampin' Up, you'd be able to buy one of these little. We've now got it on our supply list, which is great, but it's not available generally to customers because it was a special offer during Sale-a-bration, so it's not available generally. Right, there we go. Right, and then these can be cut down. So we know that this is 10.5. Let's just check that it is 10.5. Yeah, so we can cut these ones down. These can all be cut down to 10. So that one's going to layer on there. That one down to 10. And that one down to 10. There we go. So I'm going to glue this one first. There's a little bit of a gap there, I think, because I didn't stick that particularly straight, but it doesn't matter because most of the time the card is going to be open anyway. Oops, just wet my sponge in here. I've got too much fluid in there. Sucked up a bit of the water. Let's try that again. I keep my Tombow sitting on a damp piece of cotton wool, but it had dried out today, so I just moistened it again. And sometimes when that happens, it sucks up the water. Right, there we go. Right, I'm going to glue that on here. I've learned my... Oh no, what have I done? I've done it too wide. Oh, what can I do about that? Right, I'm going to wipe the glue off. Now, why didn't that work? That should have been 7, that measurement. 20, 15, 4, 4 is 8. That should be 7. Why is that not 7? It's 6.5. That's 15. Ah, that one's not quite 4. Oh, I didn't do my measuring very well, did I? That one's 4. This one is a bit bigger than 4, that's why. Right, so I need to cut this down to 6. Sorry, you're seeing all my mistakes today. All the fun of crafting, no mistakes ever, just ways to improvise. So let's cut that down. Again, the wet glue comes to the saviour because the wet glue will allow you to make mistakes and redo. Right, I wonder if that'll stick. Has that got enough glue on it? Oh, it has, I think. There we go. Right, got that panel right. Now this is going to be a bit odd because this is going to have a very wide side to it, but that's all right. maybe no one else will notice. Sometimes I think I'm a bit too much of a perfectionist. I do like all my borders and things to be absolutely equal. And hey ho, I never edit these videos, so you see all my mistakes, all my errors, and hopefully you'll see some ways to retrieve your errors when you make any, if you make any. Maybe you don't make any. Right, and this one, oh, I like these colours together actually. I'm not a very big orange and yellow girl really, but I quite like these together. I wanted to do something completely different. I seem to have been using an awful lot of purple this recently, Purple Posy and Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape, and I like them in combination with Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana, but I did decide that I probably needed to do something else. Right, I'm going to leave this to dry for a little while, so I'm going to have to score this, but I don't want to score it quite yet. I'm going to just leave that to dry for a little bit while we work on the centre parts. We're not just going to work on this part here. So I have already die cut. So here are the scallop circles that come with the layering circles, and this is the one, so it's one, two, it's the third biggest one, and I've just cut a circle out of Whisper White. It can be thick if you've got a scrap, or it can be thin, it doesn't really matter because it's going to be layered. And then we need to take our circle punches, so we've got a 2 1/4 punch, and we've got a 2-inch punch, so we're going to punch 2-inch one out of white. So I can see where I've cut the scallop circle, so I'm going to use the other piece of that card. And then I want out of the pumpkin pie, I've got another little bit here, and I want that out of 2 1/4. Oh, I was hoping this was going to be big enough. There we go. There. So I'm using up lots of scraps here today. Right, okay, don't need that. What do I need? This. There we go. Right, okay, so this is going to layer the white one first, the pumpkin pie, and then another layer of Whisper White on top there, which gives it a nice little border. So, go away tissue. There we go. So another little, it's running smoother now. It's because it was a bit dry, I think, before. I think there's still feels quite heavy, still feels like there's quite a lot in it. There we go. Yep, okay. And the die that I die cut was cut with our new cut and emboss machine, which I will bring you and show you. I only needed to do that one, so I didn't think it was worth bringing that out for today. Right, there we go. And then we need 3 butterflies to go on here. So we need a big butterfly. So let's take a piece of cardstock and our big butterfly, and we're going to stamp it in Memento. Just trying to work out where to place it for better. Actually, I'm going to do it that way around. That way around. So I've got a handle to put it in. Just working out how the punch works. Right, so that's that. And then I'm going to stamp the body in Memento Black as well before I colour. There we go. Oh, that's not very central. Okay, but if I might do another one, so it comes down a bit lower as well. It'll get cut off with the punch, so it doesn't matter that it goes over. Just wasn't very long at the bottom. There we go. Right, okay. Now we're going to colour. I'm only going to colour part of this because I've already done one, but I just wanted to show you the sort of thing that I did. So I took Mango Melody, I think the dark Mango Melody. And these are our blends, so the Memento ink will work well with these. Don't rub over the lines too much, but if you don't go over them too much, they shouldn't bleed. So I just did like a stripy effect with Mango Melody. I think I'm going to do another line down here as well, fill that in. And then a line round here. You can see that the Memento ink is not smudging at all. And then I'm going to come in with Dark Daffodil Delight. Let's see what contrast we get with that. So you can play around with colours here. There we go, that's quite nice. Do the middle. And just carry on building up your patterns like that. I'm going to come in with the dark pumpkin pie. So I'm using Daffodil Yellow, Daffodil Delight, Pumpkin Pie and Mango Melody to do this. And I'm just just choosing where I colour and colouring that in. So like I say, I'm not going to do all of that because I've already got one that I've already punched out here that I've already coloured, but that's the basis of what I did when I coloured it. Slightly different order of colours, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to fold him and he's going to go on there like that in a sec. Right, okay, then we need some little ones. So I'll show you what I did with the little ones as well. So again, Memento ink. Just going to clean that off a bit. That's a bit inky. That's better. Right, and I'll do this one down here. Lovely. And again, this one I didn't try and colour every little section because it's too small. So basically what I did was, oh, I haven't done this. Let's do his body first before I colour. So when you're stamping, stamp the butterfly and then stamp the body as well, which makes it more look like a butterfly. And there are little antennae. If you're going to print straight onto a cardstock, I'm punching these out so it wouldn't work, but if you wanted to, you could stamp the antennae as well. It's a lovely set, this butterfly set. I don't use it nearly enough. It's been out for a while now, but it's still lovely. It's a really good one to have in your stash as well because it's, you know, butterflies can be very generic, can't they, for anybody really, an adult, a child, great Auntie Nancy, grandmas, aunties. There we go. And then I might bring in a lighter one. Let's bring in Light Mango Melody and see what that's like. There we go. So that's how I did my little ones, and I've already done 4 ready to go on here. So I've got two to go on the front and 2 to go inside. So let's put that to one side. So 2 of my butterflies are going to go on here. One like that. Actually, I'm not going to use that one because I don't like it so much. Use that one. There we go. That one up there and that one up there. So I'm going to wait till I've stuck this on the card before I place them precisely. So let's put them to one side, bring my card back in. And now that that's had time to dry a little bit, I'm going to do the scoring. So bring back in my, and if you remember, and I'm just going to check the measurement, this should measure 10.5. So I need to score it at 5 1/4. So I can push this up here and push this to 5 1/4, and then take my score blade and score, and then carefully bend this because you don't want to rip the designer. It's got to go round further than the cardstock, so you don't want to rip it. So you just do that, and that's fine. That's worked. I would advise you to leave it for longer than I did to dry completely, but obviously as I make it on camera I didn't want to mess about doing that. Okay, right, and now I'm going to do the label. Before I even stick this bit on, I'm going to do the label. So I've got this label from Little Treats, and then I'm going to stamp the birthday wishes for you in pumpkin pie. I'm just going to reach my pumpkin pie because I forgot to get that out before I started. So I'm just going to use this piece of card that I started with the butterflies. I'm going to stamp, and it's a nice touch using the same colour as you've been using. Just makes it, there we go, just makes it all coordinate. And of course, all of the great thing about Stampin' Up! Products is they do all coordinate. So it makes life so much easier for you. Right, let's trim that off. So let's do, trim off the bottom, trim off the top. trim off the side. I might have to trim the other side a little bit more, depending on how big it is on the label. Let's see, does that sit on the label nicely? Okay, I'm going to just trim those sides off a little bit more. So just, okay, there we go. Just a little bit more off this side as well. There we go. And that's going to mount on there. So I did both of them on dimensionals, I think. So I stuck this on with dimensionals and then this on with dimensionals. So let's do that. I'm having a phase of using big dimensionals at the minute for some reason. I went through a phase of using all little ones. At the minute I'm using big. Apart from when it's obvious that little ones would be more suitable. So let's, one there, one there, one there, and then one there. And this is going to give the height that you need for the card to tuck behind to make the easel. You have to have it lifted off so that it's got some height to click behind. Okay, so let's put this one on here. Messed up my my grid paper. You know how I like to keep my grid paper pristine. That's using the blends. They bleed through. So this will be when I was colouring these. They bled through a bit. Never mind, I've got lots more grid paper. Right, so where does this need to go? So I want that to sit like that. So that needs to go about there. So there we go. Let's put that. Make sure it's fairly central and straight. There we go, and then that tucks behind there quite nicely and makes your card. Okay, right, okay, now our circle is going to go on there, so I'm going to glue that on next. I'm going to glue the bottom half of the circle only and put that on there. Like so, and then we've just got our butterflies to glue on. What have I done with them? There we are. So this one I've already folded, so we're just going to put a bit of glue in the middle so that even though it might get squashed in the post, if the person you send it to knows anything about crafting, they may well try and lift up the wings of the butterfly once they receive it. There we go. And another one. There. And one more little one. Oh no, I do need another two little ones. I've remembered what I needed them for. Hey ho, can easily do another two. There we go. And he's going to go like that. There we go. There we are. That's the front of that. Nice colouring. I'm liking this colour. These colours. Don't know why I don't use orange and yellow more often. There we go. Right, okay. And then the other two little ones are going to go down here just to decorate that little bit and take off a bit of the plainness of that. But actually, I'm not going to use that one. I don't like because I smudged the black Memento ink, so I will eventually make another one of those. Where did I put my punch? There we go. So I'm going to punch out this one that we coloured earlier to use because it's a much better version than the one we had before. I'm going to punch that there. And that's going to go there. There, finished the front of the card. What do you think? There we go. And like I said, it's quite sturdy with these thickened panels. It's really quite sturdy. Okay, and then the last thing that we're going to do, and I've got a feeling I might have used my piece of card that I needed. What have I done with it? Was, oh, I had a piece of card. I think I've cut, oh no, that was too big. Wasn't big enough. Okay, let's take this piece of card then. And so this is 15, so we want this to be 14. Oh, I can't do it on there, it's not big enough. Let's bring my big trimmer in. So this is to make a panel on the back for people to write on. It's a bit awkward to write on that card as it is, so I'm going to do this at 14 so that it's slightly smaller. Got a nice edge around it. And then this is 10.5, so this is going to be 9.5. So it's a centimetre smaller than your measurements of your card, and then it will have a 0.5 centimetre border, I hope, if I've measured that right. There we go. So you've got a nice, fairly nice wide border around there. And then all I will need to do is I'm going to glue that on, and all I will need to do, which I'm not going to do on camera just now, is then stick down the butterflies. To do another colour in another couple of butterflies. I'm going to disregard that one that I did where the black ink is a bit too black and thick. Do another couple and I will stick them on. I'll just show you on my original where I stuck them, just to bring through the decoration. So there we go. Where's my original card? So I just did 2 little butterflies at the top there, so I will do the same on that one when I come off camera. Right, I've made a right old mess here, but I hope you like the card, and I hope you might give it a go. Of course, you don't need to use butterflies. You can use any sentiment that you've got that will fit, and don't even need circles really. You could do anything there. You could do a square if you haven't got any dies or punches. You could just cut a square and have that on there. So lots of possibilities. Orange one and purple one. Wonder which one is your favourite. But that is all from me today. I hope you like my project, and I will see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate, and I'll appreciate it even more if you leave me a little message below. Just leave me a comment about how you liked my my card. That would be lovely. And I will see you again soon. Bye.